This is the only PowerPoint slide we'll actually look at. But what we do is kind of hard to sum up in 10 minutes. And so I like to start with this page just to show you the full depth that Socio has, because we're trying to be an end-to-end solution in creating that attendee experience to make sure that those attendees feel like they're a part of that event, whether that event is hybrid, virtual, or fully in person. And so what we're going to really focus on today is that attendee experience. So we're going to look at the virtual platform as well as the mobile application. And then I'll give you all a peek behind the curtain into our data dashboard, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the event organizers have just as great of an experience as our attendees do. So we're going to switch over here and start with our virtual platform. Think of it a little bit more like a virtual venue. Because once an event starts, this is where you go to attend that event. Don't have to download anything. Don't have to open up other tabs, other web pages. Everything lives under one digital roof, and all of this can be customized. We want to keep this where your ideas can kind of go wild. You can rename things. You can change the images, change the background images. We could even have things like these scrolling banner ads to showcase sponsors, exhibitors. But I also like to show Socio's own little virtual demo hub. I think this one's cool to showcase because Socio Orange. What's really important to note is instead of opening up to a text-based welcome page, this one's actually opening up to a welcome video. So you're not just customizing what the platform looks like, you can actually control what that attendee experience is. And that's really important if you're trying to make those attendees feel like they're a part of the event. Maybe you want to have a video, a social wall, just the agenda. You as the event organizer get to control what that experience looks like. Now, we're going to stay inside of the virtual platform, and we're going to go next into some of the features and functionality. And whenever we talk about features and functionality, I really break it down into kind of two key categories: content, engagement, and you also have networking. So with the content and engagement side of things, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the agenda. Kind of like what we've done started with today. We have a clear set, hey, here's what all is happening. We want to make sure that those attendees see that as well. These can be open to where people can pick and choose what sessions they go to. You can actually preload users' agendas for them based on the registration type, maybe based on what their interests are. And with Socio being an end-to-end solution, we even have our own live streaming service baked in directly to our platform. So that allows you to do all kinds of cool things like custom animations. You can add title cards, lower thirds, banners that pop up. And one of my favorite things is you can actually seamlessly intersperse recorded content mixed with that live content. Really good for things like speaker introductions, maybe a little sponsor advertisement, or like a sizzle reel. But there's some things that Zoom and WebEx do really well that we want to make sure that we bring over, and that's that attendee engagement. So you're going to see here on the right-hand side, we've got chat, Q&A, as well as polling. So with the Cisco acquisition, this is going to become even more robust, but it allows those attendees to now directly interact with those speakers and have those speakers directly interact with those attendees. Now, next most important thing whenever it comes to content is typically your sponsors. You have sponsors at the event. A lot of times that's how you're paying for the event, and you want to make sure that they feel like they're getting that value. So we're going to click over here to our sponsors page. One side note, you'll notice that live stream follows you no matter where you go. So you never miss out on what that content is if something piques your interest. Now, with our sponsors page, you're going to see we've got several types of sponsor layouts. We can have large, medium, and small tiles. And each one of these tiles can have a profile baked into it. That profile can display things like a video, a website, a brochure. You can even have more information talking about a little overview, maybe what that sponsor does, if they're speaking at any sessions. And we even have ways for the attendees to actually interact directly with that sponsor, whether that's requesting follow-up information, like I just did there, clicking that button. That could even be chatting with them in real time, maybe asking them a quick question. Hey, how does this product work? And one of my favorite tools is our baked-in video rooms. So if I want to have a face-to-face conversation with somebody, I don't have to hop out to Zoom or hop out to another platform. It actually opens up directly inside of the Socio platform. Now, this is just one half of the story. The other half is the mobile application. So we want to make sure that those in-person attendees can have the same kind of experience While keeping in mind that they're not virtual, they're there at the event. And so I'm going to share my screen from my phone now. You're going to see we've got a few applications here. So with Socio, you have the ability to have your own custom branded application, or you can choose to host your event inside of the Socio container app. Both are going to have the same features. But let's jump over to that hybrid event that we were just looking at. So we're going to go into this ETT events app, jump into ETT hybrid, and you're going to see all of those banner ads have flowed through here. We have all of the same features, but now it's laid out in a grid format that's a little bit more familiar for people who use Android and iOS. But if I flip over here to the right-hand side, you're going to notice there's some features here that weren't there for the virtual attendees. Things like a city guide that maybe showcases restaurants that are nearby or other attractions. Maybe you want to have things like a map that shows you the virtual expo booth and where are these exhibitors actually exhibiting at. All of these features can actually be turned off or on depending on the type of attendee that is using the platform. So again, going back to that attendee experience, it really allows you to connect directly with those attendees and make them feel like they're actually a part of the event. Now, all of the other cool stuff like the chat, Q&A, polling, that's also available in here. But you can even use things like our social wall, where people can post pictures, post statuses, like and comment on these pictures and statuses. I can even connect with people, almost like Facebook, where I can send out Facebook connection requests. And once I am connected with somebody, I have the ability to message them directly. So these are private messages just between me and that other attendee. We can send each other images, even propose things like video meetings, where now if I want to chat face-to-face with them, if I'm a virtual attendee or an in-person attendee, we can still have that same kind of connections like we would if we were both in person. Now, as you can imagine, there's a lot more that I could cover, things like gamification to incentivize your attendees to do specific tasks during the event, tons of other features. But the last thing that I want to end on is actually going to be our live data dashboard. And so everything that those attendees are doing inside the mobile application, as well as the desktop site, that's all being tracked in real time and is now available for you as the event organizer. You can see macro level trends like, hey, how many attendees are at the event and how much engagement are they having? But you can even dig in further, see things like social activity, banner ad click-through rates, who's winning at that event game. And one of my favorite features is each individual feature is also being tracked. So if you want to showcase to those sponsors and exhibitors, hey, here's how many people have actually come to your booth and clicked in to look around, you can actually show them all of that information in a very clear and concise way. You can even export this into a CSV file if you want to manipulate that data further.